Alright, you're welcome again. So we're going to continue from given the associated matrix from the general formula, and we'll be looking at this formula here, 2x1 squared minus 2x squared, and that's all of this. So you can see here that we have the x1 x2 and the coefficient as 2. We have x1 x3, the coefficient as 6. So the key thing here is to be comparing it with the coefficient of the main equation of a matrix, and the main equation of a matrix is given as this. I guess we actually looked into that in the previous video. So here we got to compare the coefficients. So for x1 squared, we compared it with the first one where x1 and x1 are together. Then we had that x1 cancels x1. We have what? A equals to 2. We did also for x2. We had b equals to minus 2. We did for x3. We had c equals to 4. Then we came down to h. H has the coefficient, the variables x1, x2. And so we compared it with this x1, x2. And then we're left with 2h and 2. So we got to have our h as 1. We also did the same thing for g, and g became minus 3. We did the same thing for f, and f became 3. So here we then got to rewrite our matrix. A, B, C on the diagonals, h at the side here on x1, x2, 2, 1, x2, x1. You see where h equals to 1, h is also equal to 1. Where g equals to minus 3, g is equals to minus 3. Where f is equals to 3, f is also equals to 3. And so that's how we get the associated matrix for that. Then we move to a new question. Now for this question, we are looking at a matrix 2x1 squared, all of this, to give the associated matrix of this equation. So we get to also look at comparing the coefficients with the general equation. So this is the general equation of the matrix. Then we compare the coefficients again, ax1 and 2x1 squared. The variable x1 cancels itself and we are left with a equals to 2. We did the operation on x2, we are left with b equals to 3. We did on c and we are left with c equals to 6. We did on f, we are left with f equals to 4. We did on h, here we are left with h equals to minus half, because we have minus x1, x2, 2h, 2 divides minus 1, which gives us half. And here, since g has no coefficients on 0, we have g equals to what? 2g x1, x3. And here we don't have any variable x1, x3. That's the reason why we have g equals to 0. Then we come down here to give our matrices and we input them into the matrix square. So finally, let's look at this. We have to check for this matrix. We are looking at converting it into the quadratic form and bringing it back into this form. So we made use of this formula, x transpose a and x. We brought in ax first. We did the first multiplication of the matrix. Do you remember? If you don't get this process, please move back to the previous video, pause and watch. You should definitely understand. And then we brought in back our x transpose and multiplied with the matrix ax together. So, and this is the x transpose, this is the metric ax being brought in. So x multiplies the entire variable here, add x multiplying the entire variable here, and x3 multiplying the entire variable here, which was why we got this. So when we fix everything, we got the quadratic form of the matrix as x1 squared, 2x2 squared x3 squared minus x2 x1 x3. Then we took it back to the matrix form. So I got to look at it that writing out the matrix form could give us issue in alphabet. So I got to make use of the acronyms A happy girl, hello boy, fly, gray funny cat. That if you're making mistakes or having issues on where to fix these variables A, H, and where to represent them properly. So we also looked at, we had to compare them with the coefficients. Let's go back to that. AX1, we compared it with the first one here. We got A equals to 1. We compared for B, we got B equals to 2. We came back and we compared for C, we got for C equals 1. Then for F, because F has no variable, x2, x3 on the main equation here, we can see there's no x2, x3. We only have x1, x3. So F equals to 0. So for x1, x3, it has the variable g, because from g here, this is x1, x3. This is x3, x1. So that's the reason why we have for g. And then g gave us -1. We also did for h. H has no variable. We got 0. So we came back and we wrote a matrix form. We have 1, 0, -1, 0, 2, 0, -1, 0, 1. So it's actually aligns with the very first matrix we had here. 1, 0, -1, 0, 2, 0, -1, 0, 1. So feel free to pause the video and probably go back, look at it again, and you'll definitely have a good understanding of what it's all about. Thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.